Sigiriya, the celestial city and the mystery of ancient engineering. No one knows how 3 million bricks reached a height of 200 meters. Stories of the extraordinary powers of ancient Hindu deities are deeply rooted throughout India. Yet, to the south of the subcontinent, in the Indian Ocean, lies Sri Lanka, an island renowned for its lush nature, rich cultural heritage and historical treasures recognized worldwide by UNESCO. Among these, Sigiriya stands out as a remarkable archaeological wonder, often described as the eighth wonder of the world. This ancient city was built atop a massive monolithic rock 200 meters high, dominating the landscape of the Dambulla region. Since 1982, it has been officially listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Today, more than 500,000 people visit Sigiriya each year, yet few are aware of its hidden mysteries, as thousands of visitors are drawn daily by its beauty and enigma. The summit of this majestic rock, surprisingly flat and marked by precise angular forms, has sparked speculation about possible artificial intervention. According to traditional archaeological records, the earliest use of the rock dates back to the 5th century CE, when King Kashyapa ordered the construction of the Lion Fortress. However, some theories suggest a much older history connected to Hindu myths, such as that of the god Ravana, ruler of the Asuras, beings of celestial origin. According to these traditions, Ravana ruled ancient Sri Lanka from a palace in Sigiriya, which was destroyed during his war against the god Rama. These legends converge with other mythical accounts, such as that of the Rama Setu, a bridge that supposedly linked India to Sri Lanka, and which many believe was built by non-human hands thousands of years ago. This raises an intriguing question. Could Sigiriya, like the Rama Setu, be a remnant of an ancestral civilization or even of extraterrestrial presence? Archaeological investigations indicate that the surroundings of Sigiriya were inhabited around 5,000 years ago, during the Mesolithic period. Several nearby caves were used by Buddhist monks even before the beginning of the Common Era. Recently, researchers have discovered millennia-old carvings on the walls of these caves, symbols that some scholars interpret as a rudimentary writing system or symbolic code used by ancient peoples. There is also evidence suggesting that these spaces were used for religious rituals and primitive astronomical observations, reinforcing the hypothesis that Sigiriya has always played a spiritually and culturally significant role. Despite these clues, the dominant narrative attributes the site's historical importance to the reign of Kashyapa between the years 473 and 495 CE. After murdering his father and seizing the throne from his brother, the king, fearing retaliation, decided to build a fortress atop the rock, relying on the natural protection afforded by its height and isolation. His reign, however, was short-lived. Defeated in battle, legend has it that Kashyapa chose to take his own life rather than be captured. After his fall, Sigiriya was converted into a Buddhist monastery and remained so until the 14th century, later being abandoned and forgotten for more than 100 years. Although the official history of Sigiriya is fascinating in itself, the legends and theories surrounding it continue to spark debate. Was this city in the sky the stage for encounters with higher entities or technologically advanced civilizations? The mystery endures, inspiring researchers, explorers, and the curious alike. The rediscovery of Sigiriya and the mysteries of lost engineering. Sigiriya drew the attention of the Western world again in the 19th century, when British Major Jonathan Forbes stumbled upon its ruins during a horseback ride. This discovery sparked the interest of archaeologists, who began excavations and unveiled one of antiquity's most enigmatic sites. Evidence of a surprising level of technical and architectural mastery, seemingly far ahead of its time, began to emerge from the stones. The urban layout of the city is impressive, a true example of meticulous planning, where symmetry intertwines with nature. Sigiriya's gardens, considered some of the oldest planned gardens in the world, reveal refined aesthetics and surprising mathematical logic. Their geometric arrangement suggests the use of advanced concepts, possibly unknown at the time, and complex hydraulic systems demonstrate sophisticated knowledge of irrigation and climate control. Some theories propose that the gardens were an attempt to recreate the paradise described in ancient texts, a space of harmony between humans and deities. This vision is reflected in how the architecture integrates with the surrounding landscape. In addition to the palaces and citadels attributed to Kashyapa, there are structures that puzzle researchers. Some buildings resemble stepped pyramids, similar to those of Mesoamerica. This resemblance raises curiosity. Is it a coincidence or evidence of cultural contact between peoples separated by oceans? Local legends maintain that Sri Lanka was a passageway for travelers from distant regions. Evidence of this emerges with the discovery of Roman and Persian glass beads and ceramics near Sigiriya, suggesting that the city was part of an ancient global trade network. Could architectural knowledge have also traveled along these routes? On the western side of the archaeological site, there is a complex park that reinforces the theory of advanced engineering by Sigiriya's builders. A little explored aspect is the possible use of sacred geometry in the site's design. The placement of elements such as gardens, caves, and water tanks follows proportions reminiscent of the famous golden ratio, a pattern found in other notable structures like the Egyptian pyramids and Machu Picchu. This alignment may indicate a deep understanding of cosmic harmony and mathematics applied to architecture. Sigiriya's hydraulic system is another testament to its sophistication. It includes canals, reservoirs, dams, and even mechanisms that functioned like water pumps, many of which still partially operate today. This impressive durability raises questions about the level of technical knowledge available at the time. Were the ancient builders of Sigiriya more advanced than we assume? While the documented history reveals the grandeur of a past civilization, the layers of mystery surrounding Sigiriya continue to captivate and inspire new discoveries. The Sky City remains a link between myth and reality, between what we know and what we still seek to understand. Engineering challenges and material mysteries at Sigiriya. Built upon a monolithic rock rising over 200 meters high, the ancient construction of Sigiriya defies conventional explanations. With approximately 3 million clay bricks used in its structures, the mystery begins with the sheer logistics of transporting these materials. There are no traces of primitive paths or stairways that explain how everything was carried to the summit. The metal stairs used today to reach the top were only installed in the 20th century, and even with them, the ascent can take up to 2 hours. Another intriguing puzzle involves the presence of white marble blocks scattered along staircases and passageways. How was this marble, which is not native to the region, transported in large quantities to that location? The blocks are immensely heavy, and the absence of accessible routes or modern tools at the time renders their presence even more inexplicable. This lack of a logical explanation raises significant questions about the capabilities of Sigiriya's ancient builders. Enigmatic markings and technology. Ahead of its time, the rock also bears surprising signs that baffle specialists. Archaeologists have identified cuts of extreme precision, similar to those made by modern tools like lasers or plasma equipment. These markings were found in hard-to-reach locations, making it unlikely they were made with the rudimentary instruments of the period. Similarities to other ancient structures, such as Sacsayhuaman in Peru, fuel the hypothesis that past civilizations may have employed technologies unknown to us today. Narrow grooves, sculpted with impressive exactness along the rock's sides, and deep circular holes at the top suggest the use of instruments that fall outside the conventional technological repertoire of antiquity. Some of these signs appear in areas where a person could not have worked without some form of sophisticated support. These peculiar features have inspired theories beyond the official account. How could an ancient people, supposedly limited to simple tools, achieve such feats? One of the most fascinating hypotheses mentions the use of instruments operating via vibrations or sound frequencies. Ancient Hindu texts speak of devices such as the Shabda Vahini, capable of transforming sound into physical energy. Could Sigiriya be concrete evidence of these lost technologies? In the next section, you will see archaeological evidence that may turn everything you know upside down. The complexity of the hydraulic systems, the inexplicable logistics of material transport, and the indications of unconventional tools make Sigiriya a true archaeological puzzle that continues to intrigue researchers and enthusiasts to this day. Sigiriya, engineering legacy and mysteries from a forgotten era, located in the heart of Sri Lanka. The imposing formation of Sigiriya continues to provoke questions about the knowledge and abilities of the civilizations that lived there. Near the mysterious grooves in the rock, researchers found deep cavities carved into the granite, as though drilled by devices capable of cutting or even melting the stone. But perhaps the most surprising element at Sigiriya is a gigantic water reservoir carved directly into solid granite. Measuring approximately 27 meters in length, 20 meters in width, and 2 meters in depth, this tank required the removal of more than 3,500 tons of rock. Considering the extreme hardness of granite, it is difficult to conceive how this work was performed, using tools such as hammers and chisels. Curiously, there are no typical tool marks in the tank, only long curved grooves similar to those seen at megalithic sites in Egypt and Peru. Lost technologies and the use of natural frequencies. Beyond the impressive excavation, the tank suggests an advanced understanding of sustainability. Its ingenious design allows for water storage year-round, even during dry seasons or heavy rains. There are signs of a hidden drainage system to prevent overflow, and water collection by percolation demonstrates a sophisticated technique for the time. These clues have led some scholars to consider that the builders of Sigiriya might have manipulated the natural properties of the stone, using specific frequencies to temporarily soften it and facilitate their work. This would explain the absence of conventional excavation marks and the astonishing precision in the shapes carved. Another hypothesis suggests that the rock might be situated over ley lines, natural energy channels of the earth, and that the site served not only as a fortress or palace, but also as a point of energetic and spiritual convergence. A pre-deluge civilization. Facing such achievements, one must ask, could Sigiriya be a remnant of a civilization predating known history, perhaps even a pre-deluge people? Some local narratives suggest the site was built by beings from the heavens, survivors of great catastrophes who used Sigiriya as a sacred refuge. Advanced technology, or laws of physics, defied. The absence of ancient stairways to reach the summit adds another level of mystery. Even today, with modern structures assisting, the climb is exhausting. So then, how were marble and granite blocks brought to the top without evident trails? More daring theories speculate about the use of levitation technologies or unknown aerial vehicles, ideas that resonate with local legends. Traditional texts recount that Sigiriya was built as the dwelling of the god Kuvera, deity of wealth. Other stories point to Ravana, a mythological figure of Sri Lanka, described as a descendant of celestial entities. According to these traditions, the great carved pool was for the personal use of the king divinity, and the oldest structures at the site were built by his direct order. A bridge to the divine. The hypothesis that Sigiriya was conceived by heavenly entities is neither isolated nor recent. Various cultural traditions in the region recount visits from deities who descended to earth and shaped extraordinary edifices. The impressive complexity of engineering at Sigiriya, combined with legends about its origin, suggests that the site may transcend its status as mere archaeological heritage. Oral traditions describe Sigiriya as a portal of the heavens, a point of connection between the earthly world and celestial realms. Legends of beings appearing in beams of light or disappearing in columns of fire are common in local folklore, and echo myths from other places considered gateways between dimensions, such as Mount Kailash or Machu Picchu. Could Sigiriya be among the contact points between humans and entities from other realities or worlds? Perhaps it is a key to understanding the knowledge of ancient civilizations and their connections to the cosmos. While many questions remain unanswered, Sigiriya continues to be one of the greatest enigmas of antiquity, challenging our ideas about the past and the possibilities of what our ancestors, or beings beyond human comprehension, might have achieved. Sigiriya and the enigmas of the Asuras, technological advancement or myth. The archaeological site of Sigiriya in the heart of Sri Lanka has been the subject of intense debate among scholars and mystics. The traditional view credits its construction to King Kashyapa, but local narratives and ancient texts offer an alternative history involving the Asuras, beings from Hindu mythology described as powerful and endowed with capabilities beyond human. According to these stories, the Asuras had mastered extremely advanced technologies and were responsible for unbelievable feats. Could they have been the true builders of Sigiriya? And might they have used forgotten knowledge or technologies now beyond our grasp to shape its structures and transport monumental materials? Sacred texts mention the Vimanas, aerial vehicles used by gods to travel between the earthly and celestial planes. In the epic Mahabharata even, there are descriptions of flying cities belonging to the Asuras, reinforcing the possibility that divine craft could have played a role in building Sigiriya. Ravana and the reptilian hybrid theory. The mythical king Ravana, a central figure in Sri Lankan culture and legends linked to Sigiriya, is often portrayed as a hybrid being, part human, part of non-earthly origin. One of the most striking features of the site are the murals depicting richly adorned female figures, painted with pigments that defy modern conservation techniques. Experts question whether these images simply represent apsaras, celestial nymphs, or entities from another plane tied to stories of Ravana. The durability of these pigments could be evidence of technical and artistic knowledge far beyond the time in which they were created. Moreover, ancient texts describe Ravana as someone with extraordinary gifts. He could change his form, vanish into the environment, or even become invisible. Some traditions depict him with greenish skin and reptilian traits, reinforcing theories that associate him with a hybrid lineage or reptilian beings. At the entrance of Sigiriya, there are two gigantic stone-carved paws, known as the lion's claws. Curiously, these sculptures have only 3 claws, a number inconsistent with feline anatomy, which has led some to consider that they might represent a creature of reptilian appearance. This interpretation aligns with narratives linking the site to Ravana and his possible non-human aspect. Technological advancement or ancient legend. Among the most impressive feats attributed to the mysterious builders of Sigiriya are the movement of more than 3 million bricks and tons of rock to the top of a rock formation over 200 meters high, without visible remains of ramps or ancient paths. The excavation of a reservoir directly into the granite, removing more than 3,500 tons of stone without marks consistent with primitive tools. A sophisticated hydraulic system that maintains the reservoir supplied even during dry seasons, while preventing overflow during the rainy period. These characteristics challenge traditional interpretations, Some theories suggest that the ancient builders mastered manipulation of frequency, sound, or even forms of anti-gravity, concepts present in mythic descriptions of the technologies of the gods in Vedic texts. Sigiriya, inheritance of the Asuras. Legends about Ravana and the Asuras indicate that these beings possessed abilities far beyond known human capacity in antiquity. It is possible that Sigiriya served as an energy center or even a celestial sanctuary, erected with tools and knowledge that today seem unattainable. The presence of the Nagas, reptilian entities described in Hindu and Buddhist scriptures, is also mentioned in local traditions, especially within Tamil and Sinhalese cultures. The Nagas are considered masters of hidden knowledge and technology, and it is believed that after a subterranean exile, their stories became myths. Even so, their connection to Sigiriya fuels theories that the site might have served as a point of contact between humans and beings of other lineages, the mystery that remains. The true origin of Sigiriya remains shrouded in doubt. The absence of tools that justify the precise stone cuts, the inexplicable transport of materials, and the advanced engineering challenge what is known about ancient technology. Are we looking at the creation of primitive peoples, as traditional historians defend? Or are there indications of a more advanced, perhaps non-human civilization that directly influenced our history? The stories about Ravana, the Asuras, and possible links with hybrid beings open a fascinating door to this debate. If Sigiriya was indeed inhabited or built by celestial entities, it could radically transform our understanding of the past and about who truly shared Earth with us in time immemorial. What do you think? Could Sigiriya be an extraordinary work of human ingenuity, or the testimony of contact with knowledge and civilizations beyond conventional logic? Each mural, each carved stone, and each enigma at Sigiriya challenges the limits of our historical understanding. Perhaps amid the millennial silence of these ruins, there are answers awaiting the right moment to be revealed, when we are ready to see beyond the known. Until then, Sigiriya will remain a colossal mystery, a window to a past as surprising as it is enigmatic. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this mystery, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you won't miss our next videos. YouTube is recommending 2 exclusive episodes for you right below. I'm sure you'll love them too. See you next time.